Good afternoon. My name is Todd Caruso, and I serve as the chairman of the board for the Livingston Parish Chamber of Commerce. It is my pleasure on behalf of the board to welcome you here today to our 2020 Candidate Forum. The order in which we're going to proceed tonight is we will first have candidates for the United States Senate and then the United States House of Representatives, followed by candidates seeking office for the Public Service Commission. So we'll start with candidates seeking office for the United States Senate.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity to be here this evening. For those of you that I have not had an opportunity to meet, my name is Beryl Billiot, and I am seeking the office of United States Senate. I am a lifetime Louisiana resident. I'm a Christian. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I'm a husband, a father, a grandfather, but I'm American. As your senator, I vow to provide real leadership to fix our rapidly decaying public education system, to work to mitigate the rampant abuse of our welfare system, and to also work to reform our judicial process. Now, they asked me, why am I running for United States Senate? In December of 1985, as a senior in high school, I took the oath of office as I committed to serve in the United States Marine Corps. And in that oath, it says, I, Beryl Billiot, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers appointed over me, according to the regulations of the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God. I served my country honorably then, and I stand ready to serve my country again. In light of all that is happening in our country, it is more important now than at any other time in our life to be involved in our political races. But it is time we put our political party affiliation aside and to do what's best for America. It is being proven every day that the bipartisan system that made America great is the same bipartisan system that is tearing it apart. The initial intent was to bring conflicting ideas together and perspectives to the table to find a mutually beneficial solution through careful deliberation and compromise. But today's leaders are no longer working in the spirit of compromise, but they're working in total competition, where only one party can win, leaving the American people to flounder in the aftermath of their inadequacies and their inability to lead. It is time to focus on what really matters, what brings us together, not what separates us. When members of Congress hope for and plot for failure of leadership, it indicates to me that we are electing the wrong people. This November, forget the parties. Vote for the Americans who will work for betterment of our nation and the success of all the citizens. Vote for the candidate that best represents the values you hold dear, not the one the media says you're going to win. Take time to learn like you're doing tonight. Don't forget that freedom is always one generation away from extinction. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not time to do something different. It's time to do something better. My name is Beryl Billiot. I'm number one on the ballot and hopefully number one in your heart. Thank you.
Good evening. First, I want to express my gratitude to the Livingston Parish Chamber of Commerce for creating this opportunity so that I, as a candidate, might make an introduction to you as a constituency and prospective voters. So I am Dartanyon Williams. I am the candidate for the 6th Congressional District for the state of Louisiana. I'm a country boy at heart from the Delta region of the state, Parish of Tensas, town of St. Joseph, which is economically and educationally poor, in which I was reared and raised in an agricultural dominant based part of the state. Today I stand before you and identify as one who believes himself to be the embodiment of what hope and inspiration looks like. I'm a first-time candidate in anything, and more especially and particularly in politics outside of 4-H and elementary school. But at my core, I'm a businessman, serial entrepreneur. I'm the founder and CEO of Duck Pond Technologies, Inc., that holds and houses 10 unique patents in the space of fraud, prevention, detection, detainment, and deterrent. I'm also a published author. of the best-selling memoir in 4 categories on Amazon in less than 48 hours, titled The Master Identity Thief. And I'm also a father first, amongst all those things, above all those things, of 4 beautiful blessings. So I stand before you this evening asking for a chance and opportunity to serve as a type of sacrifice, understanding both the principles of service and the precepts of sacrifice as a servant leader. I'm one who has came to disrupt the status quo, to effect change in an otherwise mundane and monotonous atmosphere of politics, whereby we need to engineer and pioneer what leadership looks like. So to conclude, I say this. Thank you again for allowing me this chance and opportunity to make an introduction more personally and more especially politically. And I'd like to be given yet another opportunity to serve as your congressman for the 6th Congressional District for the state of Louisiana. Thank you.
Hello. I want to thank everyone for coming tonight or this afternoon. My name is Richard R.P.T. Torregano. Ballot number 44, and my website is rpt501.com. Now, I'm an independent, so you're not going to see me much on television. You're not going to see many ads. I've done some geo-stationing, I believe they call. But everything you need to know about me is on that website. Now, even my family members say it's long, you know, and people can't read it, so I might give you some highlights. But a famous president once said, "What can you do for your country?" I say, you have to run. He kind of left it wide open, but it has to be almost the epitome of living in a representative democracy is to run. Not to vote, but to run. If you leave it up to the other people of the Democratic Republican Party, you're gonna get what you deserve. Now the Democrats, to me, they worry about identity politics and special interest groups. The Republicans about big business and big money. And it leaves everybody out of the middle class. I know I'm one, I feel like I'm being left out. Pushed aside, set aside, and they don't care. They tell us what we want to hear because they need our vote. Without the middle class vote, they can't win. So, I need your help, I need your support, I need your vote. Help me help you in all middle class Americans. Congress is broken, dysfunctional, ineffective, and somebody needs to fix it. And it's not going to happen with allowing the same people to run constantly. The candidate that's presently in the position has been there for 6 years. Now, I don't have the experience, but you have to start somewhere, and it's not important where you start. It's just that you have to have a good mind, the right heart, and a good platform, and represent your constituents. I feel like I can do that, but to think that I'm going to have any effect in Congress, once you read my platform, is not going to, I don't think it's going to happen. So the second part of my platform is where if I was elected, to try to have at least 30% of Congress and senators replaced. Oh, thank you. Please visit my website. Thank you for attending. Good day.
Hello, everybody. I'd like to thank the Chamber for hosting this event and inviting me to come share my views and my platform. My name is Alan Borne, and I am the only Democratic candidate running for the Public Service Commission so that the people of Louisiana have a voice on the commission. A little bit about me. I was born and raised in the New Orleans Metairie area. I attended De La Salle High School in New Orleans, I went to Tennessee to college at Southern Missionary College, where I received a degree in business administration. I returned home to New Orleans to go to Tulane Law School, where I graduated in 1984. In 1985, I founded Borne Law Firm, and for 35 years have been advocating for the rights of my clients. Now I'm prepared to go to the Public Service Commission to advocate for the hardworking families of Louisiana, to assure that they have affordable, reliable, and sustainable utilities. I have made a commitment that I will not take contributions from the utility companies I regulate. The incumbent, who is here, has received hundreds and thousands of dollars of contributions from these utility companies. And some would say, oh, I can take this money and not be affected. Well, common sense dictates otherwise. Other states in the South have said that utility companies can't donate contributions to commissioners, and Louisiana needs to do the exact same thing, and I support that. Let's talk about broadband and rural internet. The internet is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity for telemedicine, education, and job opportunity. I'm a strong supporter of getting internet and equal opportunity to all persons, no matter where they live. And I'll do everything I can on the commission to see that that happens. Let's talk about global warming. It's not a hoax, it's real. Louisiana's been hit by several hurricanes just this season, wildfires. We have the opportunity with aging fossil fuel power plants to change all that, to convert that to green energy. The technology and the price of solar and wind have come down so much that they're competitive with fossil fuels. And we need clean air for our future. There's now almost 8 billion people on this earth, and we need to take care of it. I need to wrap up. So for a commissioner who will not be beholden to the utility companies he regulates, I ask for your vote for Alan Borne, number 63 on the ballot. Election day is November 3rd. Early voting starts October 16th. For power for the people.
Good afternoon. My name's Big John Mason. I'm running for Louisiana Public Service Commission, District 1. If you only remember one thing about my presentation, it is that I am the most conservative candidate in this race, and I intend to prove it. I have a 100% pro-life score from Louisiana Right to Life Federation, and I'm the only candidate in the room that can say that. I'm a lifetime NRA member. I host a conservative radio political talk show. But what separates me from the incumbent is he supports a regulated monopoly. That's not what conservatives are about. Conservatives are about competition, a free market economy. I'm running on a really radical concept, and let me explain it to you. I think that the person who should best decide what's right for you and your family is, make sure you're sitting down, you. Right now, you buy from one company because the Public Service Commission says you do. You pay whatever rate the Public Service Commission has approved. Capitalists and free marketeers and conservatives instinctively know that monopolies are not what's best for the consumer. And it doesn't matter if that consumer is a residential, middle-class person, or a business. This is a Chamber of Commerce speech. There are a lot of Louisiana companies, especially in big industry, that would like to make their own electricity, but they can't. The incumbent's been in office for 12 years and wants 6 more years. And in that 18 years, not a peep about deregulation. Other states have done it. He'll trumpet that we have the lowest rates in the nation. That's great. But we sure don't have the lowest energy bills, do we? Why is that? Well, part of it is because we use a lot of electricity. Another part of it is simply that the fees are through the roof and the tariffs, which is a fancy word for taxes, are through the roof. We rank middle of the pack in our energy bill, despite the fact that we'll be trumpeting, oh, our residential rates are the lowest. He'll be trumpeting, oh, our industrial rates are the lowest. Democrat just talked about power to the people. I'm the only candidate that really 100% wants to give you and you and you and you the choice. If you want to find out more about me, you can listen to my radio show tomorrow, 1 p.m., WGSO, 990 AM New Orleans, or please visit my website, bigjohnmason.com. All one word, bigjohnmason.com. I stand with President Trump 100%, and I'd like to stand with you 100%. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is John F. Schwegmann, and I'm a candidate for the Louisiana Public Service Commission, and I thank you for affording me these couple of minutes, 3 minutes, to be able to speak to you. I believe that a person should be known by their deeds, and I'm going to speak to my deeds. I served on the Louisiana Public Service Commission, albeit roughly 24 years ago, since I last was on the commission. And I want you to know that I never took a single dime during any of those 16 years from any utility companies, any of their executives, or any of their interests. Furthermore, I donated my entire salary during those 16 years to nonprofits. For the majority went to various schools for the mentally handicapped. Furthermore, I never charged the state any money, any rent from my state office, nor for the utilities to support that office. I'm offering myself because I believe the Louisiana Public Service Commission is greatly corrupt. That is a powerful, strong word, but it belongs, it needs to be said, and I don't shoot from the hip. I don't fire out things like that, reckless statements without being able to prove it. The CEO of Entergy once was quoted in the Times-Picayune as saying that he controlled 3 votes on the Louisiana Public Service Commission. When you combine that with the huge sums of money that flow from the utilities to the regulators, and you combine Entergy having the highest, or right up there, in our entire nation as far as a rate of return is concerned, everything points to corruption. The most important element of serving in public office, frankly, is integrity. You can't serve on the Public Service Commission and you have only one job to do. One job to do. It is complex, but one job to do, and that is to regulate our state's monopolies and at the same time be owned by the utility companies. Should I be elected, I will conduct myself in the same fashion as I did when I last served on the commission. I will be independent. No one owns me. I will cast my vote in keeping with my conscience, my heart, and my intellect. Thank you very much, and I hope you consider me on November the 3rd.
Hello, Livingston. It's a great pleasure to be here. My name is Kevin Pearson, and again, it's a great pleasure to be here. I served in the legislature for 12 years. Never any controversy, always trying to do what's right for the people. And if you know any of the legislators in the state who served with me, ask them. Sometimes I take on things that weren't so popular. I've lived in Slidell my entire life. One of the things with the Public Service Commission, I think there is an issue with the corporate contributions from primarily the utilities. And I have not taken any contributions from any of the companies that we'd regulate, and I will not, and that's my pledge, I will not take any contributions from the companies that we regulate. I'm there for you. There was an article in the Times-Picayune not long ago that was talking about Entergy seeking to build new power plants that are going to cost $10 to $12 billion. And our industrial companies along the river are panicking because their rates are about to go up 40%. That's a concern. That's a huge concern that we have. But I'm about openness. I'm about voting for what's in the best interest of the individual. Years ago in the legislature, wasn't that many ago, I fought for the fishermen, trying to look for places to fish. We had this thing in Louisiana where certain landowners were taking over certain plots of land and saying, okay, putting up fences everywhere. That was a case, once again, I didn't care if there were 15 lobbyists against me, but that's something that is inbred, and that's something that I have decided and always wanted to do. I'm here to serve you. I'm not here to serve any company that says, hey, we need to do a new power plant. So if you take a look, I have a website. It is simple. It's votekevinpearson.com. And I'd love to have your vote, and I think we're going to do very well. And I appreciate all the candidates. One thing that you might ask is, why are there 6 candidates running against a 12-year incumbent, which is kind of rare? There are issues. We all have concerns with that. And I've spoken to the other candidates. We think there is something that could be improved. And for your future, for your children's future, to try and do what is best for the people and not for the companies that we regulate. It's important that we do the regulations to make sure that things are best for the individuals. But again, it's all about the people. So again, please take a look at my website. I would really appreciate, and I ask for your vote, Kevin Pearson. Again, it's votekevinpearson.com. Thank y'all. God bless.
Ready? Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Eric Skrmetta. I'm the current Public Service Commissioner for District 1, and it's a pleasure to be here. I am a lifelong Louisiana resident. I am been Public Service Commissioner for 12 years. During that time, I have fought the utilities, and I have cut utility expenses that they sought by over $8 billion. And I have returned to the ratepayers over $500 million in rate credits. Recently, under our guidance, our attorneys were successful in obtaining a judgment against Entergy for over $700 million. And the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, basically said that we had opened the gateway to further actions against Entergy, and those actions help bring further rate credits that come to your bill. Now, we are also building new power plants because we don't want to be like California and be short on power. So we build new power plants to get rid of old power plants and remove them from the rate. We have at least 13 new industrial scale solar facilities that are under construction, and they'll be completed within the next year, with 7 more to follow thereafter. So we are building a broad resource planning that will be the envy of every state. Now, when I came on the commission, Louisiana was 26th in the ratings in the United States. But we fought it, we fought these companies, and we've brought ourselves, probably for about the last 6 years, to be the lowest residential utility rates in the country, driving down rates of return. We are now average with the entire South on rates of return, and lower in some cases. We look at the cost of capital. We have gone to lowest industrial rates as of 2 months ago. Industrial rates aren't going up. They are going to continue to be managed or reduced. We're in a position to achieve great things for the state of Louisiana. Tomorrow, we are going to vote at the Public Service Commission to authorize 2 co-ops to engage in broadband installation in North Louisiana. They're the first 2 to come to us. That's going to be $100 million in broadband infrastructure. We are moving forward. My website is ericskrmetta.com. I invite you to look at all of the things we are doing. But I want to say one thing about Livingston Parish. We have invested over $900,000 in energy efficiency projects in Livingston Parish, including all the schools in Albany, Springfield, and Holden, as well as the detention center. and that's cutting the cost of government. And that's what's the important thing about being in government, reducing your cost. I ask for your vote, and I'm number 68 on the ballot. Thank you.